To Guessagaingaming, to London, and to Watch Dogs Legion. Yes, I know I'm doing the videos about games I bought in the PlayStation New Year sale, but as I said, I'd possibly interrupt that series with anything I thought was relevant. This isn't super relevant, but it's just something I did today, so I thought I'd mention it. Actually, it relates to PlayStation Store sales. So the PlayStation Store New Year sale has finally ended, and there's a new sale, of course there is, which is called the New Year sale, I think, or something like that. They don't have very original names for the sales on PlayStation, and they are original. They don't make any sense. Like this one later in the year called Planet of the Discounts, as if they have sales on different planets. Anyway, so first up, as usual, when there's a new sale, I run through the whole sale just to see what there is, see if there's anything new. Unfortunately, with PlayStation, there's not usually anything that new, but I think it's a bit like if any of you use Amazon, I would always advise you to only buy stuff in sales that you've seen before at the price you saw originally. What I mean by that is Amazon tend to discount things in sales, but they're not actually the price they were on Amazon. They use the recommended retail price. So unless you've constantly been watching an item, don't just buy it because it's in a sale. And PlayStation Store isn't the same, but often there's games that come out in one sale and then literally they're in another sale the next month and they're more expensive in the sale. So I notice that often because I look at all the sales. So just be warned that, you know, sometimes in a sale you might think something's, oh, it's that price, but actually the sale before it was quite a bit cheaper because the sale discounts aren't always the same. Another thing about PlayStation Store sales, or just PlayStation Store in general, is it's a very annoying interface. It's not, considering we're in 2026, it's not a very user-friendly interface. I don't think it's very well done. I think they could tailor it much more as Steam do, where it's got, you know, games that might interest. The way the store sales go, they're just so hard to navigate. There's just so much stuff, which comes to the point of the video actually. Oh, actually, before I continue, scanning through the stuff, and this also relates to a video I made recently about spyware, malware, games, rubbish games that are really cheap. There's a game in the sale for 7p. It really is. It was £2 something originally, and it's now 7p because it's 95% off. I bet that's a great game, huh? Anyway, well, maybe it is. Who knows? I shouldn't judge. So something I wanted to say about just glancing through the sale. I've mentioned this before as well. It's not just a PlayStation Store thing, it's a game thing, not a PlayStation Store thing particularly. But it's just really, I don't know about you guys, but when I look to watch a new series, I rarely watch series on TV or on any form. Actually, I watch movies because series are so hard to get into, and they're usually related to other series. They're a spin-off of something, or they've just got too many episodes. And I don't know about you, but if I look at a series that's come out and I've not seen it before, it's not come out but I've just noticed it, and it's already got 3, 4, 5 series, I'm not going to watch all those. I'll give up. And unfortunately, gaming is worse. Going through the store, and if you go through the store on PlayStation, Steam will be exactly the same, but it's, you know, the games that are on Steam are the same content as on PlayStation. There's just way too many DLCs for some games. I spent literally 2 swipes going through DLCs for different games in the PlayStation Store sale just now. There's just so many DLCs for some games. Some of them are nonsense. They're just a different skin for a gun or something like that, and there's just so many. And I don't know about you, but even if it's good DLCs, and I'll give you a game on Steam that I know very well, Stellaris, has got so many DLCs, and okay, I played Stellaris first many years ago, and so I've got them over time, but I've not played it as much recently, and there's been more DLCs come out, and it's mind-boggling to try and work out which ones you want, which ones you don't, which ones are just cosmetic, which ones have got good content, which ones are going to make bad content in a game, or change the content. And that's with a game I know. Some games you look at and there are just so many DLCs, and you think, I don't know what I want. Will I want this? Will I want that? I don't want to buy a game and then later on I'll have to decide which of 20 DLCs I might want, And that also ties into my next thing. There's just so many versions of different games. And again, I look at the PlayStation Store often and Steam, and I know most of the ways they describe versions of games, you know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Gold Edition, Premium Edition, Deluxe Edition, etc, etc, etc. But I forget which is which and what's got what, because there's so many. Most games, especially the bigger games, have 4 or 5 different versions, and it's ridiculous. And that's not counting separate DLCs that's included in some versions. And we want, as gamers, to get people into gaming. If you're in gaming, and like I said, I understand quite a lot of these versions, whether it's a game I play a lot of, just I know how gaming works. But if you don't, you're going to come into gaming and you're not going to want to get involved, because you're going to look at all these different versions and you're going to think, I don't know what I want. If you go to buy a CD, or you go to download a music track, if you go to buy a movie, whether it's a download from Amazon or whether it's a Blu-ray or a DVD, you get that. Sometimes there's one extra version which is a director's cut or something. If you go to buy a game, there's so much. And if you just were new and you went onto Steam or you went onto the PlayStation Store, apart from anything else, how would you possibly know out of all these versions which you'd want? You wouldn't know. And then you've got this version's got that DLC, this version's got that season's pass, this version's got this. There's just too much of it. They really seriously need to streamline all this nonsense, because it's annoying. I have to go through when I've bought games myself, like which version do I want, this one's got this, is this good, this one hasn't got that, this one's got that and that. It's annoying. And they don't need to have that many. As I've said many times, in the old days when you bought physical discs for games on PC, games on PlayStation, whatever, Xbox, you got the version because that's what it was. And we need to get nearer to that again. I appreciate that DLCs can be good, and a few DLCs of new content for games, and maybe, you know, one for, you know, some other bits of cosmetics is fair enough in big games. But all these different versions, all these DLCs, it's just unnecessary. Especially all the different versions. Like, you know, you have a base version, and then maybe you have the premium or the deluxe and the top version. So you have a base version without the DLCs and the season passes, and you get a top version. We don't need all these middle versions with little bits of something in it, but not all the something. What's the point to that? It's just stupid. It's annoying. And then you discount all these things to different levels, different times. It's annoying. It's frustrating. So that was my little 2 cents worth this morning, having looked at the new PlayStation Store sale. Amazingly, I've spun through it and I can't find anything I particularly think I'd buy. Okay, I did buy a lot of games in the last sale, and I have got games I've not played yet, and I do play a lot on Steam, and I've got games on there I've not played yet. But I don't think I buy an equal amount of games on Steam and on PlayStation, to be honest. But even so, it's just no games that jump out at me and make me think, oh, I really want that. Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming. The next video will be back to the games I bought in the PlayStation New Year's Eve sale, the last sale. Until then, take care for now.